What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday, y'all. What's up on IG Live? What's up on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube? Hope you're all having a killer day. Give me a thumbs up. Brian Bogert's on the call, man. I feel special. Brian Bogert he coined a phrase, embrace the pain to avoid the suffering to gain your freedom. I'll never forget that. It's the first time I ever met him. He's got a really cool story. If you don't know Brian, follow him, man. He's a great dude. With that said, guys, thank you for joining the call. Hope you guys are having a blast on this Tuesday. This call, all these calls are meant to do is really define the game you want to play, how to truly get started, what you want to do. I know Brian's talked to me in the past and motivated me. You got the Ken K's of the world, the Richie Dolans, the Grant Cardones. You got mentors who are always trying to help show me what to do, from Nathan Mays to everybody that I've ever met, from Ken Joslin. But at the end of the day, even my family, my loved ones, my friends, you know, we try to help people. But these calls, what I'm trying to do is I'm really trying to change the way you play the game of life. And life is nothing but a game. I'm trying to change the way you view it, how you see it. And so this is meant to really help you define, what do you even want to play? What actions do you need? What steps do you need to take? And so my intention is to help you in any way, shape, or form by just showing you what I do, by showing you how I show up every single day just to accomplish this thing in life. Life is a bitch sometimes. Life is hard. Life is nothing but a journey, but you got to play with an intention, and you got to get up every single day to try to make the greatest impact in your life. Thumbs up in this world, in a heart on IG world, if you want to try to make an impact, not only in your life, but other people's lives. Exactly. So whether you're an aspiring dentist, whether you're a young mom, or whether you're a father, whether you're somebody just starting a business, whether you're a dental student, you want to get knowledge from me in dental profession. Sorry, I got a laryngitis a little bit. I'm going to try to scream. But whether you're starting a dental practice, starting a business, just starting your career, these calls are meant for you. Everything I'm going to say to you right now is going to set you up for success, even if you don't have a job. So my hope at the end of the day is just take away the tips and tricks that I do, what I continue to do every single day, and you become you. And for you that don't know me, for you watch me for the very first time, you want to know who I am. I'm Dr. Bobby Grossi, born and raised in Flint, Michigan, with a single mom raising 3 kids on $18,000 a year. And so I know what it's like to struggle financially. I know what it's like to have to run into pitfalls. I know what it's like to try to make shit happen for yourself. I know what it's like to not eat every single day. I know what it's like to go only sleep 2 hours a day for 4 years. I also know what it's like to run 6 businesses now. I also know what it's like to take a $750,000 dental practice to $4 million. I also know what it's like to wake up every single day to be a great father and to be a leader, hopefully, to my kids. What's up, Naran? Nice seeing you, brother. I know what it's like. So these calls, if you don't know where I've been exactly where all of you have been at. And I've still overcome it. So today I want to talk about how to truly create your financial life plan. Like, what does it truly mean? And if this calls in for you, if you don't want to be at, that's fine. That's good. But everybody needs to create a financial life plan. Everybody needs to, especially in this time when the economy and nobody knows what's going on. You need to take charge of your own life. We need to stop blaming others in this world. And this is my passion of my shortcomings, or what I don't have in my account, and I'm entitled to this. No, we're entitled to nothing. We must create the plan we're after. We must create and seek the plan that we want. We must, if you will, cause and create what you want. That's a Richie Dolan phrase. And if anybody knows Richie Dolan, you understand that. So that's a Richie Dolan thing. Cause and create what you want in this life. So creating your financial life plan is the most essential step you can take towards gaining your long-term financial goals, but your independence and your freedom. And who doesn't want independence and freedom? I mean, just with a thumbs up or a heart, don't you want your own independence? Don't you want your own freedom? Don't you want to live stress-free? One of the most things in this world is it really is just not taking a plan, not even setting up a plan. I mean, so many times we all bitch about money and what we don't have. But yet when we look in it, we don't even try to figure out a plan. We don't try to figure out a plan that might work for us, or we don't have all the people on board. And so in order to get something to start, you must create a financial, assess where you're really at. Really know where you're at. If you want to lose weight, you get on the scale and you say, hey, I need to lose this. You maybe take body measurements. You take certain things. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me. You take certain measurements so you know your starting point. You know what you want to maybe lose or what you want to gain, whatever it might be. But you got to assess your current situation, and you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to know exactly where you're setting up. You got to set goals. You got to set targets. You got to create a roadmap. You got to make informed decisions. You need to take your necessary actions to secure your financial future. You got to take the actions, not your spouse, not your kids, not your significant other. You must take charge. You got to control it. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide. Okay. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide. So if you don't have a pen and paper, man, better go watch the recording and go back to it. Guy, if I know you're at work, I can see your camera's off. Gab, my mom's on the call. What's up, Linda? My mom's on the call. Linda, hell, love it. And people on IG, if you don't have a pen and paper, hey, dude, go back and watch the recording because this stuff's worth gold. Number one, assess your current financial situations, right? Where are you at? Calculate your net worth. You're like, dude, I've never calculated my net worth. You got to know where you stand. What are you worth? And some people actually underestimate their net worth. They really do. They don't look at everything. They don't look at, I understand you got to look at your liabilities. Everyone looks at debt. Everyone looks at your credit card statements. Everyone looks at what you owe on your mortgage. Everyone's easy to pick out the debt, but they really don't know the assets they have, right? So you got to know your assets. What's in savings? What's in investments? What's in properties? What's in your garage that's sitting with 2 bikes and old furniture that you have storage? So I hate storage units. I mean, dude, there's nothing but assets in there. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $15, $20. Sell all that stuff. What are you hoarding it for? But at the end of the day, that's an asset. So you got to know what that's worth. And don't do this emotional thing. It's worth $50,000. For God's sakes, it's an old coffee table that's been in your garage for 20 years. It's probably worth $200. But with that said, know what that is. Evaluate all your income in your expenses and your cash flow and understand how much you earn, spend, and save each month. I mean, nothing is more important. That's why I love entrepreneurs. We almost have to do this every single day in business. And we're really good at doing this in business, but we suck in our own personal finances, a lot of us, especially in dentists. If you're a dentist out there, I always joke because we work anti-Parkinson's law. In Parkinson's law, I'm going to repeat this over and over again, is that your expenses always rise to meet your income. It's a law. But in dentistry, we feel like we made it for some odd reason. I've done this even my whole career where we kind of live fast and we spend, but we don't know what we have in savings. We overspend. I always say, what's your burn rate? Right? It's almost like calories. If your burn rate is faster than what you're taking in, you got a problem. Now, the good news is if you're trying to lose weight, no pun intended, if you're burning calories more than you're taking in, you're going to lose weight. Awesome. But guess what happens? Flip it. If you're burning more money than what's coming in, you're going to lose money. Period. So think about your burn rate, right? Review your credit score and report anything areas that you might need to improve. Like this, analyze it daily. Grant Cardone, myself, other people that have really made it, the Richie Doans of the world. I know Naran does this. I know Brian does this every single day. I know Ken does it. Know where you're at every single day. I did cash flow transfers, right? I look every single day in my business and all my businesses. Where are we at? Where do we stand? What's my projected sales for the next week? What are we going to do? How much do we have saved? What should we do that? I mean, I do that in everything in my business. I also know my burn rate in life. Now I'm a little bit worse in my life, and that's because of me personally, but I like to share wealth. I love to give people way more experiences than I probably could take home. And I always joke with people, well, when I die, I won't have it. Now, that'll be a longer story. You need to set people up for success. What's up, Skylar? Good to see you on the call. By the way, Skylar McLaughlin on a sidebar, he great kid. He started managing and running my crumbles last night. He showed so much leadership. So thumbs up to Skylar. I love Skylar, but I love that these young kids are on the call. Guys, then you got to define what your financial goal is. After you review a credit score, what truly is your financial goals? What are you trying to accomplish? You know, in business, what do you want to accomplish? And you know, Naran, you might want to accomplish $2 million, right? I don't know what it is. You might have to want to accomplish these sales, or what are your short-term goals within the next 1 to 2 years? I would even, for people struggling, what's your next goal for the week? I have somebody that if you could just make an extra $1,000 of income, it could change their life. Okay, well, how do you do that? So set up a short-term goal of how you can maybe set this up. What do you have to do? Like, how do you create an emergency fund? How do you want to pay off debt? What do you want to save for vacation? You got to answer all these questions, because life is about having fun too, and not just about, you know, working. Financial freedom is key, but if you don't set a plan or a roadmap, even short term, you're not getting there. You're not getting there. And then when you get to the short-term goal, accelerate that success. Identify your middle-term goals. What are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years? I say middle, 3 to 5 years. Are you buying a house? Are you starting a business? Are you going to fund further education? You know, in dentistry, I haven't got a plan for that. I got a plan for continuing education. Cost me about $25,000 a year. Are we going to plan for training our staffs? Are we going to plan for training Crumble? I just sent a crew to my own Crumble cookie franchises. I just sent them to a training in Utah, which cost me, you know, $7,000. You got to plan for this. You got to budget for this. You got to know. And you also should create a budget that you can do this. When you want to expand something, you should have 4 parts. I talked about last week the law of 3, the $3 rule. And I'm going to kind of simplify it. If you make $3, $1 should be towards all your bills. $1 should be investing, and the other dollars could be in just your fun. You want to have fun in life, take $1. So if it's $3,000, it's 1,000. If it's 30,000, it's 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. I'm just giving you a little hack. You don't have to do that, but if every kid growing up did that in this day and age, that'd be awesome, right? So, and then create your budget. Set your long-term goal, by the way, I forgot to mention this, beyond 5 years, such as retirement plan, children's education, financial independence. Yes, if you're a father or if you're a mother and you're trying to plan for financial freedom, you better plan your kids' education. Now, in my day and age, we got student loans. My mom didn't have to pay anything, just God bless her. But I'll tell you the story of that. I turned away a full ride, and I told my mom to her face that because you've raised $18,000 a year and I made a decision of not taking this full ride, that I own the fact that you'll never pay a dime. That's my promise to her. And I've lived up to that promise, and I'm very, very proud of that promise. So what is your long-term goal, your financial goals? How do you become financially independent? What is it that Naran, what is it that Naran, what is it that you need? What is it, Ken, that you need? What is it, Vinny, that you would need? Andreas and Guy and Christine and Bob and Dario, what is it that you need to truly create your financial independence? Skylar, what is it? What is it that you really need? Now, Skylar, you could be young and you might not be thinking that far, but I promise you, whatever you think out will come. Then you're going to create that budget, develop that monthly budget, that lifestyle that'll allocate your income towards different categories, whether it's housing, utilities, food, debt payments, savings, investments, anything, discretionary spending, whatever you want to do. Like, you got to create the budget and you got to stay on track. It's no different than when we talk about diet, right? Diet. If you want to burn calories, if you want to accomplish something, or you want to gain weight, you either got to count your calories, what's bringing in, or what's out, and what are you burning. So you got to create that budget and stay within that budget, stay within those parameters. If you do that, you'll work against Parkinson's laws. Track all your expenses. I don't care if it's you going to Starbucks every single day and you spend $7 a day. Make any adjustments. I always laugh at people when they say, man, I get my money and it should be enough for me to live, but yet I can't even live. And I'm going to give you a little hack, just so you know, the people that want to, as we keep lowering minimum or full-time positions in the US, especially, think about this. Tell me that other people don't want control of you. Just think about this logically. 40 hours a week used to be full-time. And then it went to 36 hours, then it went to 32, and now some instances it's 30 hours. If you work the bare ass minimum, you're going to have the bare ass money. It should stand for bare ass money. And you're going to have just enough to survive. And that's what everybody supposedly wants, just enough to survive. Congratulations. You keep working 0 to 40 hours a week, and you don't track your expenses, and you don't watch your costs, you're just going to survive. Hand pat, outstanding, great. If that makes you happy, amazing. If you want to thrive, if you truly want to be successful, what do you do past the 30, 40 hours a week? What do you do? Where do you spend your time? So when I even talk about creating a budget, create a budget of time, create a budget of finances, create a budget of everything that's really going to catapult you. And then make the adjustments you need. Adjust your living style. Adjust your means. Save enough money to achieve your goals. And do not invest until you have enough money to really do invest. Unless you're a young kid. You want to invest $100 and you keep doing that every single month, awesome. But as an adult, if you don't have enough in the kitty, you don't have at least enough cash to support your living for 2 months, I wouldn't invest yet. That's just my rule. Now, that might be, you might disagree with that, but that's just me. And also know how to leverage debt. I can tell you sometimes when you're creating a budget, I see debts on there. Sometimes you got to know how to leverage debt, but that's a sidebar. So when I tell you guys, this is what you got to, when you track your expenses, you want to know where it's all going. Whether you make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $2,000, $1,500 a month, it doesn't matter, right? Look at what you spend daily. Simple math is this. If you spend $100 every single day of the month of just extracurricular money, that's $3,000. And I know some people spend more than that. Some people spend $200, $300, $400, $500 a day. Well, guys, it's not hard. $500 a day times 30 is $15,000. And we wonder why sometimes there's a big issue. Right? You're overspending. Your burn rate's too much. What's your burn rate? You need to always, and I just touched on this, you need to build that emergency fund. I say at least minimum 2, and here I have 3 to 6 months. Save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a separate, easily accessible account, and maybe not in the US now, but to handle unexpected financial emergencies. You always got to have your kitty. I don't care if you're in a business. I don't care if you're in your personal life. You got to have a safety net. And it's really, really hard to do. And how you do it at first is you live only a third of the money that comes in. And if you've already created bad habits, I get it. Create a side hustle, do something, cut expenses, lower debt, do whatever you got to do to get more on the positive than negative. Your burn rate you cannot burn more than you take in. You can't. You'll eventually lose. So you always got to know that. Try to create a safety net. Try to create something in there. Is this tracking with you guys? I mean, is this just tracking with a thumbs up or a heart? Awesome. Awesome. This is the hardest part for most business owners. This is the hardest part for people. This is the hardest part of everybody is how do you truly manage your debt? What do you pay off? What don't you pay off? When do you borrow money? When don't you? Always pay off the highest interest rates first. And I know what's that Dave Ramsey says. I know Dave Ramsey talks about paying off your house. And look, dude, I'm going to argue this point until I'm blue in the face. If my interest rate on my house is 3%, and let's just say your house is worth, for simple math, $100,000, and you have $100,000 of cash, and you can take $100,000 and pay off your house, and that'll feel great, right? Because you feel like you're debt free. But dude, what could you have done to make more money than that 3% on that $100,000? You could invest it in real estate. You could have truly created wealth. Dave Ramsey wants you to survive and still live I don't agree with Dave Ramsey at all. If I can make 12% of my money, 10% of my money, even 7% of my money, when my interest rate on my house is 3%, why the heck would I take $100,000 and pay off my house? It makes 0 sense. Use your interest you're making on that money just to make your house payment. Because at the end of the day, I always joke about it. All we're doing is renting our house. And eventually we're going to sell it and we'll have capital in there. So I don't see the point of it. I really don't. That's just me. I would use my money if it's different interest rates to invest in something different. Invest in yourself, invest in a small business, do something, create a side hustle. There's so many different things you can do besides paying off your house. If the interest rate is low, interest rate is high, different conversation. Always pay off high interest cards first. Try not to be in interest at all. Like I use credit cards for points. I use credit cards for certain things, whether it's traveling expenses, whether it's staying at hotels, and I run them all through my business, but I always pay them off every month. So credit cards are the best thing, not debit cards. Credit cards are one of the greatest tools in the world. I could use the bank's money for 15, 20, 30 days. And if you pay it back, who cares? Who cares if the store that you're paying is losing 3%? Who cares? It's not your problem. But you can take advantage of some things. So always look, there's good debt, there's bad debt. Having a credit card is not bad if you control it, right? You're working against Parkinson's law. Credit cards are not bad. If I wanted to be a dentist, I need a $3 million loan. Debt is not bad. Debt is not bad. I always laugh at people. If they're going to give you the money, use it. Use it to your advantage. What's the interest rate? Go take some of that capital. What do you think people that own real estate do? They leverage their debt. They leverage their assets to get more money, to take that money, to not pay tax on it and go reinvest it. So, hey, know the game. Consider debt consolidation, refinancing. If you want to really get out of debt, the Dave Ramsey style, then you can reconsolidate your debt. You can do whatever you want. You can refinance options, reduce your interest rates. Always find a way. Always find a way to lower your interest rates and or get out of the high interest rates first. My student loan payments in dental school, I still owe $200,000, right? And you're like, Doc, you've been a dentist for 20 years. Yeah, I know. My interest rate's on that 1%. So whatever. I'll just pay the minimum for X amount of time. And I'm going to use that money for other tools. So really understand where you're at. Manage your debt, but prioritize what's the most important to pay off and what's not. Put a list on a piece of paper. Do whatever you got to do, guys. But make sure high interest goes first, low interest goes last. If you got a boat ton of money, think of investing to make more money on that money. But that would be a thing I do, a strategy I would do. Even in business, if I want to lower my tax bracket, I know this is not a tax call, but if I want to lower my tax bracket in business, sometimes at the end of the year, it benefits me to buy new equipment. So there's certain things set up where I will use that debt to write off that debt to save more money in my pocket, my own personal money. So there's a lot of strategies you can do and how to manage debt and work for it. But debt can work for you. It'd be a great tool. So number 6, guys, invest for the future. And this is where people are afraid to do it. Some people have a scarcity mindset. Some people have a fear of going broke, AKA sometimes me. gatekeeper. And a lot of that stems from your childhood. A lot of that stems from my childhood, having a single mom, raising 3 kids on $18,000 a year and really robbing Peter to pay Paul, right, in Flint, Michigan. But when you invest in your future, you need to determine your risk tolerance and invest in objectives, right? What is my objective? Is it growth? Is it income? Is it, to develop a long-term strategy, investment strategy? Do I want to create a bigger portfolio? Do I need to diversify my investments, across different classes, whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate, et cetera, manage risk? I'm not a big stocks and bonds guy right now, unless you're going to do it in maybe the AI industry right now. That's not me. I only invest in things I know. I like real estate. I know it's an asset. I like investing in or things I trust. I don't like 401k plans for me. But with that said, I do have a little 401k plan, and that's the trend. But understand, I don't like the control that I can't take something out until I'm 60, or I can't do this for that. And sometimes I'm losing interest, sometimes I'm not. I like to have a little bit of control of my money and my assets, but that's personal preference. You do what you want. When you review and you really know what you want in your future investments, make sure they align with your goals and your market and the marketing conditions. Sometimes you got to pivot. Like if I had a 401k right now, knowing what it's doing, it's kind of growing a little bit. But maybe you take a loan out of your 401k and you can do it for something else you invest. Yes, you're going to say, but you got to pay that back. But taking a loan might be a little bit different, right, than taking it all out and losing all the tax breaks. So there's a lot of strategies, and I can't dive into all the strategies, but there are things you can do. Thumbs up. Number 7, plan for retirement. Estimate your desired retirement costs. And guys, I promise you this. If you think $100,000 today is the same as it is 20 years from now, you guys are all smoking something. And I would love to know what you're smoking, because that'd be great. We know that's not the case. That's why, if you think about it, most people that have worked, that's why I worry about this whole W-2 or job industry that we talk about. Most people work for 20 to 30 years and they still are broke. So if this was set up for our future, we got to work against what the norm is. You got to know what you want for retirement. You got to create and cause and create anything you want. I don't care what you want. You got to create it. You got to have a number in your mind that even if inflation goes up like it is right now, that I can live comfortably without working. That's true retirement. That's true freedom. Don't underestimate that number. Don't say, man, I live on $30,000 right now. So if I could save $300,000, or it better be more than that. If you could save $600,000 in the next 20 years, that will give you $30,000 to live off for 20 years. I get that, except the cost of living is going to go up. So you might need $2 million. You might need $3 million. You might need 10. I don't know what that number is, but you got to know what you want and where you're standing and how comfortable you want to be. Now, it is true, as you get older, you shouldn't have as much debt. It is true. But still, you got to know that number. Don't underestimate that number. If you put a number on paper and you work towards that goal, I promise you, you'll cause and create anything you want. I don't care about your situation right now. You can make anything happen you're committed to. Contribute to, contribute to some things. Take some money you want. I always say your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, real estate properties, stocks, bonds. We talked about that. Whatever works for you, invest in it. There's things out there. You could have hedge funds. You can have a lot of things where you can invest with somebody else that has investments, make 15 to 20% of your money. I do that a lot. I invest a lot with other people, with whether it's through Richie Dolan's crew, whether it's for David Falk, whether it's a lot of things, whether it's real estate groups, whatever makes sense for you. And I see Kelson's on the call. He's a big financial guy. What's up, Kelson? Nice seeing you. Whatever makes sense for you to invest in, that's what you do. But you got to do your homework. What work makes sense for you? If you like real estate, invest in real estate, right? Invest in that stuff. Consider talking to a financial guy. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, dude. I get my advice from all the people that have done it. I try to find people in this world that have done where I want to go, and I take all my advice from them. The biggest mistake we make as people is we take advice from people that have never been there. We take advice of how to run our financial situation for people that live in poverty. We take our advice in dentistry from dental teachers that have never ran a practice. I always chuckle at that. We take advice in finances, most of us, of people teaching finances in an educational platform, if you will, the fake finances that don't even have enough money for retirement. Never take advice from people that are never where you want to go. You can write that down, put that on advice. Never. I don't care if it's your wife, your spouse, your father, your mother. Never take advice from anybody who's never been walked in your shoes and know how to can pave the path. Because we always, why create a new path? Why not take the path of least resistance? Thumbs up if you feel that. All right, cool. And when you want to protect yourself, guys, I always say, look at insurance coverage. Myself as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, I got to protect everybody. So I do have disability insurance. I do have life insurance, way more than my family would ever want. I do have property insurance to insure anything. I do have insurance on everything. Hey, insurance isn't bad. The only thing I joke about insurance is you never really have dental insurance. You have a dental benefit, and that's a dental joke. So for all my dental friends on this call that are laughing at me, they know exactly what I mean. It's like a dentistry is like a coupon at the grocery store, right? You get $5 off a loaf of bread or something. Insurance is truly insurance. It's a safety net for should you fall through. Now, what you don't know is you can only get as much life insurance as you're net worth, really what they think you're going to be worth. So the more you can push that envelope up, the more you can get. So, but make sure you have a backup plan. Make sure you have stuff. Create an estate plan. What's in your will, power of attorney, healthcare. Protect your family. If our job is to provide income to be the best we can be and to be financially free, you better make sure everyone's protected that you love. And if you don't have family, okay, I'm sorry for you, but maybe you love the church. Maybe you want to give it to somebody else. Maybe you want to leave it to something. I don't know. There's nothing wrong of protecting other people, but protect yourself and all your assets, and no matter what you do. Then continuously learn. Number 9 is always learn. Be continuously learning on how things are changing. Even in the AI world, there's platforms that will help you with your finances. How are things changing? Are we going to go to more of a global currency? Are we going to, is it going to be more in Bitcoin? What are we going to do? Is it going to be more of a Fed now control, whatever it is? If you're from the United States, you need to be informed in all the finance topics and what's working and what's not. What are some investment strategies? What are the economic trends? You know, guys, go back to old school, read freaking books, man, attend seminars, file financial blogs, consider seeking professional and financial advice, go to the AI world. I'm telling you, there's so many different things out there that you just got to go seek. If you seek, you will find, right? If you want answers, you will find them, right? You can find them. And then always, number 10 is you always got to regularly review and adjust wherever you're at. Schedule periodic reviews. I do it daily, but man, at least weekly or annually or quarterly. Schedule a financial plan and track your progress. Where are you at? Are you getting closer to or further away your goals? Reassess all your goals or your targets. Make any necessary adjustments and pivot if you have to. Don't wait. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's how cultures create cultures and plant seeds that are not even possible. That's why cities stay in poverty. That's why people and families never get out. They keep doing the same shit and expect a different outcome. You can't. You must stretch to grow. You must feel pressure to grow. And that's the way new opportunities come. Get out there. People always say to me, you know, how did you meet Richie Doan and the Brian Bogerts of the world that are on these calls and the Ken Kays? And how did you meet all these people that aren't even from your area? And I always joke about it. While everyone else was being quarantined in COVID and they were eating bonbons and fruits and they were drinking ice cream, I was finding a way. I was learning from better people. I was finding people that had my answers. I was seeking them and I met them, and now I'm partners with a lot of them. So people want to help you in this world. People want to help you create whatever it is you want to cause and create. You got to seek it. You got to find it. New opportunities. There'll be new avenues, new opportunities that open up with you every single day. If you're willing to seek it, you will find it. Because I believe in this. Whatever you truly want in your heart, whatever you want to cause and create, whatever you put on paper, whatever you want to become, the Lord and other people will open up the pathway. I promise you. If you want it bad enough, it says in the Bible, write it in tablets, and you want to cause and create something and you stay committed, most people never fail. The people that fail in life are the ones that refuse to stay committed, that refuse to keep changing, that refuse to try to change with the times, that get very comfortable with their elastic waistbands on and gaining 20 to 30 pounds they don't know. Those are the people that fail or maintain. Stretch yourself, push yourself, feel that pressure, feel that resistance, reassess your goals every single day. What is it that you want to cause and create? What is it you want to do? And when you do this, dude, you're going to adapt these things and evolve. Your circumstances will absolutely evolve just out of pure intention. Your life will change. You'll revise every plan, every goal, every situation you've ever come about. Your financial life will change. If you don't think it's possible, remember my story. A boy raised by a single mom in Flint, Michigan, making $18,000 a year, who rode a big wheel when he was 8 years old, and he heard a voice in his head said, "You were meant for something different." And every single day, whether my dad was an alcoholic who's not around, I now have a stepdad who's one of my biggest mentors in life. When you don't think it's possible, anything is possible you have deep in your heart. Brian Bogart, if you didn't know him, has lost one of his limbs. He got actually hit by a car. And if he would have settled in his circumstances and he would have felt victim to his circumstances, as all of us do, he would never be the badass he is today. And I'm going to repeat what he said, and this is Brian's coin. Avoid the pain. Excuse me. Hold on, I'm going to move. Avoid the pain. Anyway, I'm going to screw this up. Embrace the pain to avoid the suffering, to gain the freedom. It all came back. Sorry, I had a eureka moment. Embrace the pain. Embrace all the pain to avoid your long-term suffering so that you can finally become free. My man, Brian Bogart, told me that a long time ago, and I never forgot it. So coin that, put that on the wall, do whatever you got to do. Guys, when you want to create your life plan, it empowers you to take control of your financial future and make all your informed decisions. When you assess your current situation, setting clear goals and implementing strategies to achieve them, you will pave the way to your financial freedom. It's not a perfect plan. You got to move. It's going to require reviews. It's going to require you to adjust. It's going to require you to pivot. It's going to require you to cry sometimes. It's going to require you to work against Parkinson's law. It's going to require you to make some tough decisions at times and stop this frivolous spending. But if you do that, it'll secure the brighter future and finances you've always wanted. But it always starts with a belief you can do it. And guys, just to ensure that you're tracking and you're moving, please give me information at the info@thedentistco.com. Put something in writing to me that I know you Mickey Fickies are moving. I know that these calls are making an impact. If this is making an impact today, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, share a story with me. Share something with me how maybe this has helped you create the life journey you've always wanted. Do something positive for somebody else in this world, because we are in this thing together. It's called Growing with Grossi for a reason, so that we can make the greatest impact in this world. That's one of my missions, but we can make the greatest impact in this world. Guys, and what we're going to talk about next week, just so you know, is investing your greater purpose, greatest calling. When you don't know what you want, what you should invest in, I'm going to help you to help define what it is you truly should invest in, and what is your purpose. Guys, as again, thank you so much for joining me on a Tuesday when you can be doing everything at 1 o'clock on most people's lunch hours. It went a little bit longer today. I apologize. But if this was great for you, give me a high five, a thumbs up or something. Much love, dude. Always live life to the fullest and live life with intention. Right? Embrace the pain to avoid the suffering, to gain your freedom. I'm out. Have a great day, guys.